Hi, welcome back. In this video, we will discuss about animatable CSS properties. Basically, the properties which we can have some animation by using transitions or the keyframe animations. Okay. So for example, this background color or the opacity or this color. Okay. What are the properties which we can animate? So to demonstrate that, what I have done, I have opened the documentation on MDN of CSS Animatable, and if we scroll down a little bit, okay, also the definition, basically the some CSS properties are animatable, meaning that they can be used in animations and transitions. And we have the browser support as well, and after that we have all of the animatable properties in CSS. Okay, and there are a bunch of the properties, all of the borders, we have the color which we have used, we have filter, we have font, and so on and so forth. Okay, there are a bunch of properties. Now also we will discuss some of the performance impact of using the animations. So for example, if we want to animate margin, so if I just do a margin, okay, so as you can see here it is. So we have the margin here, and we can definitely animate the margins, but the performance which we will get from the animation will not be optimal. So if we want to just change the position of an element, then instead of margin we should be using something called transform and translate basically. So we can use that. So you might be thinking, okay, so why exactly is that? And there is a bunch of steps done under the hood inside of the browser, how the browser renders the animations and so on. I'm not going into that detail, but you can just trust me. And whenever we want to use some sort of an animation or transition, we can use the transform property instead of the margin. Also, we have the background property as well, right? So if I just do background, all right, let me just go ahead. As you can see, here it is, the background properties as well. But instead of background color transition, if you want to change the opacity, then you can just use the opacity transition as well. Once again, that is a little bit more performant than changing the background color. Okay. So in that way, we can have some optimal animations inside of our website. And most of the time, what I have seen, basically we usually stick to some properties, something like color or opacity or transform for our animations. Okay, so here it is. So these are all of the CSS animatable properties which you can have a look inside of this particular documentation. You can just search for it on Google and you will be able to find that, or I will just add this link to the description below. So here it is. So these are all of the CSS animatable properties and their performance impact.